Hey guys, I want to talk real quick about Russell Wilson's contract, Tom Brady's suspension appeal, and the US Open. Okay, so recently Russell Wilson was interviewed on a North Carolina radio station talking about his contract. And ever since then, people have been freaking out, worried about his future, and is he going to be leaving, and people making all kinds of inferences from that. So I thought, let's take a look at the actual interview soundbite that everyone's talking about, and let's break it down.
At the end of the day, I trust the process. I know that God's going to pick me and put me wherever he wants me to, have me. I hope that's Seattle. I love it there. It's a great place to play. I've also gone through the ups and downs and been moved around before. It's like I loved NC State and loved playing there and then having to go somewhere else and start new. So ultimately, I know mentally and physically and spiritually, I'm prepared for whatever.
Okay, so that's what Russell had to say. So here's the headlines that came from that soundbite.
Russell Wilson hopes future is in Seattle. God is going to put me where he wants me. Russell Wilson ready to move on?
Okay, to me, he's saying a little bit of all that, except for the part about being ready to move on. Actually, where does he even say that in there? He never actually said it. I'm sure he put a little reminder in there about how he left North Carolina to go to Wisconsin just to kind of, let the Seahawks know that this is a possibility. But the Seahawks already know that. They know the situation. They also know that Seattle has control over Russell, at least for the next 3 years, because they can franchise tag him, which means he's going to be under club control for the next 3 years, and his salary will be set based on the top 5 or so quarterback salaries. So the bottom line is, as long as the Seahawks feel like he's their guy, he's going to be here, and he's going to get paid. And actually, he'll probably get paid more if they do franchise tag him. So it actually makes more sense for him to work out a deal long term because it'll be better security for Russell and it'll actually save money for the Seahawks. But for right now, it's all the negotiation thing. So we'll just have to see how it all plays out. And I believe they will get it worked out sooner rather than later. The point is, any quote, any story can be taken and spun by the media in any number of directions to tell the story they want to tell. Just like when he was asked about playing 2 sports, football and baseball. So when Russell doesn't say no, the media writes it as a yes. So then everybody starts worrying about Russell. Is he going to play baseball instead of football? Or how is he going to manage both when it's not even really actually happening? It's just all out of context. The media is really good at taking quotes out of context and then twisting it around and shocking everybody with this jaw-dropping headline. So I work in video, so I cut up a lot of interviews, and it is so easy to cut and move and change words and make anyone pretty much say whatever you want to. Not that I would do it because, it would be kind of unethical, so I wouldn't really want to even go there or anything. But so, for example, imagine if the media asked Russell Wilson a question like this. Russell, would you like to experience living on the moon someday?
Well, I've always been fascinated with outer space, and I love taking on new challenges. So if the opportunity came up, sure, I'd be open to it.
The headlines would probably read,
Wilson, frustrated with contract, plans to leave Earth. Wilson to start new Lunar Football League, LFL. Wilson dumps girlfriend Ciara to live with former Seahawks quarterback Warren Moon.
Okay, that last one, that was just dumb. So forget about that one. Anyway, you get the point. Moving on. Tom Brady finally had his long-awaited hearing to appeal his 4-game suspension with Roger Goodell. According to witnesses, Brady defended himself by saying, "It wasn't me," for 10 straight hours. I predict in about a week, Brady's suspension will be reduced to 2 or less games, and then we'll all be left thinking, what was the point? This past weekend, the US Open was held in Washington's own Chambers Bay and had one of the most spectacular, exciting finishes we've seen in a long time. Dustin Johnson was 1 putt away from winning the US Open, and he blew it. Choked. He 3-putted on the final hole, giving Jordan Spieth the win. Spieth now has won 2 majors this year, the Masters and now the US Open. And can't feel too bad for Johnson because he did come away from this winning $1 million. Spieth won $1.8 million, which isn't too bad. But just for a second, can you imagine being that guy? I mean, you thought the Super Bowl loss was bad. At least we could blame the coach or credit the defense for making a great play. Now Johnson, he was totally on his own, completely blew it on his own. I mean, 1 inch. Missed it by 1 inch. So now every time he thinks about an inch, he's gonna think about losing that US Open for the rest of his life. He'd be like, oh honey, looks like you grew a US Open this year. Oh, that's almost perfect, just 1 US Open this way. Yep, right there. The second biggest story to come out of the US Open was all the whining and complaining about the quality of the golf course. All I have to say about that is Jordan Spieth didn't seem to have a problem. So to all the whining losers from the US Open, get off the wambulance and suck it up. To be fair, what was weird about looking at that course on TV was that everything looked kind of brown and kind of dead looking. I mean, this is Pacific Northwest, the rain capital of the United States, and we got all this brown grass in there. I didn't quite figure that out. We got a rainy reputation to protect here. So will the US Open ever come back here again? Who knows? But it sounds like the earliest it could come back, even if they wanted to have it here, isn't going to be for another 10 years. So It's a long time from now, so I'm not going to hold my breath on it. As most of you Hawks fans out there already know, Seahawks training camp tickets went on sale this week. Yesterday, they were on sale to the public at 10 o'clock, which means at about 10:01, there was a bunch of really pissed off, angry, frustrated Seahawks fans cursing at their computers because you probably couldn't get on because training camp sold out in like 30 minutes, which means that there will be more Seahawks fans going to practices than there will be Rams fans going to actual games. I'm going to the August 1st training camp, so if you're going that day too, I will see you there. All right, that's it for now. Please like this video, leave your comments. I will read them. Don't forget to subscribe. And if you want to watch last year's video of training camp, just click on this video right here. And if you want to watch my previous video, just click on this video right here. And if you want to watch my latest Rivals video, Trash Talking with Russell Wilson and Colin Kaepernick, click it right here. All right, we'll see you guys soon. Go Hawks.